Hi, welcome to Cooking Together Generations. Like I told you last week, this is going to be a special episode because, folks, the cookbook is done. You just saw the front cover. We'll talk about it later. Woo-hoo! But you know, when you have dinner, whether you have dinner out or you have dinner in your home, the most important part of the dinner is not the food, but it's the special people that are joining you for dinner, family or friends. So today we have 4 friends. We have Fran and Barb, who you already know, been here before, and Jean and Marcia. And these 4 people, along with myself and Joyce, used to go out to dinner every Saturday night after Mass, someplace restaurant, and spend a little time shooting the bull, okay? Today, we've got a kind of a special dinner since we're celebrating the cookbook. We're drinking a little champagne. We're going to do a recipe called chicken Marbella. Now, if you look on the internet and look up chicken Marbella, you will find out that the very first recipe was in 1982 and was in a cookbook called The Silver Palette. And it was, the authors were Sheila Lukens and Julie Russo. And Joyce and I had the pleasure of meeting Julie at her bed and breakfast in Saugatuck, Michigan. In fact, our first 2 cookbooks are in her library. She gave us one of her cookbooks. But again, if you go into the internet, you will find that chefs and cooks have worked with this recipe over the last 20, 30 years. And so everybody has their own little take on it. So this is our take on chicken Marbella. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef Brock. Do you like our new coats, guys?
Yeah, new coats, new everything. Hi, folks. Hey, we're going to do some chicken Marbella today. And one of the things about this recipe is it takes about 6 to 8 hours to marinate. So we've done a lot of the prep ahead of time. What I've done in a large baggie, and you can find these, you got to look for them, but these big baggies are available at all your grocery stores and Targets and places like that. So in this baggie, what I've put is a half a cup of olive oil, a half a cup of red wine vinegar, some prunes, some kalamata olives pitted, some green olives pitted, and some black olives. And also some capers, about 3 ounces of capers with the juice. Okay, bay leaves, garlic cloves, minced. All right, and then salt and pepper to taste. So that's been in here. Pardon me?
Is there any cheese in there?
There's no cheese in here. No cheese in here today. No cheese in here today.
There's no cheese.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my baking dish and I'm going to put my chicken in first. So out of the bag, I'm going to pull out miscellaneous pieces of chicken. I got some chicken breasts in here, some chicken thighs in here, and I'm going to put those on the bottom. So I'm going to get all the chicken out that I can. I'm going to layer that in my pan. Okay. And I've got about 4 pounds of chicken in here. Different sizes, different cuts. But I prefer the breasts and the thighs just because they offer a lot more meat than some of the other cuts. Okay. So I got all those layered in, and you can see the capers, and I even got a little olive there. And then the nice part about this is once I've got the chicken out, I can just take the bag and I can start to dump all the other luscious goodness on top. Oop, got a little bit caught over there. All right, put my bag back in the sink, take my spreader, get this all spread out over the top, like that. All right, nice little presentation there. And then the last thing I do before I put this in, well, is I'm going to take a little bit of brown sugar, and I'm going to sprinkle the brown sugar over the top just to give it a little sweetness and a little bit of a browning action there, make it really good. And it's going to offset some of the other spicy flavors that I have in there. When I say spicy, I mean peppery, the bay leaf, some of those things that are in there are going to give it a little bit of, not heat, but spice. And then what I'm going to do just to finish it is I'm going to put a little bit of white wine around the edges. I'm not going to pour it over the top. I'm going to pour it around the edges so that it gets into the bottom. Okay.
Hey, folks, if you ask, just go ahead and ask questions. If he does something
Yeah.
Don't understand
How
why.
long did you marinate that?
6 to 8 hours in the refrigerator, and I flipped it every once in a while. You want to go in and flip it because all those juice soaks to the bottom. You want to flip it over so the meat gets well marinated. I kind of peeled back the skin a little bit too on the chicken so it got underneath the skin, but I left the skin on so you get a little bit of crispiness there. But that's the dish. So you got some really good sweet with the prune and the brown sugar, and you got some tart with the capers and the olives, a little salty. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the oven, and I'm going to slide this into the oven, and this is going to bake for about 60 minutes. Okay?
Magic oven.
My sous chef Tom is going to pull out of the magic oven the one I already put in there, and we're going to slide that in for about an hour, and we're going to let this one set on top of the stove for about 15 minutes before I plate it up.
Oh, that looks so good.
Ooh, so while I'm waiting, for this to cool, I'm going to throw it over to Amanda, and she's going to make a grapefruit shrimp salad.
Shrimp and grapefruit salad that we're going to make up for you. So we're going to start with a grapefruit. This is actually going to be your serving dish. So the way you're going to want to cut it is you don't want to cut down the middle here. You want to cut this way. So you've got the top and the bottom of the grapefruit to sit your bowls down. So we're going to slice this in half here, down the middle. Then I've got a little grapefruit spoon here, and the grapefruit spoon has just a little sharp edge on the end, and this is going to help you get the fruit out if you ever want to get the fruit out of your grapefruit if you're not just juicing them. And we did end up using the juice from these too. So you're going to want to save your fruit, and you're going to want to eat it for breakfast. So you're going to go around the outside edge of the fruit like so, and then you kind of dig underneath it to get it out. This spoon
As it flies into the air.
Yeah. I'm the one making a mess, so I've done a pretty good job with this. So gonna go around. This little spoon is so nifty.
You're getting really good at that stuff.
And then I kind of just push it right out.
I jinxed you.
I know. And then you might have a little bit hanging out from the middle of the just some veins. You're just gonna take a little paring knife and just cut that right out. Maybe. And there you go. And then you've got your bowl to serve your salad. So, first thing we're going to put in here is some shredded red cabbage. That's going to be our base here. And then we have got some shredded carrots and shredded fennel, and we've used the bottom part of the fennel. So, normally the top of your fennel is going to look kind of like this. We used the bottom part and shaved that. We're going to put that on next. Yes, there you go.
There's the fennel.
We use this bottom part here. So got some of that in there. And then I have cut up 2 shrimp here. That's 1 per bowl. Gonna add some shrimp on top. We're gonna grab our plate here. Put that on there, and then we're gonna decorate this with 3 shrimp. We're gonna hang them on the edge here. We're gonna dress this, and then we're just gonna, right here I've got about a 1-to-2 ratio of grapefruit juice and olive oil. I put some salt and pepper in here. We're just gonna shake this up a little bit before we dress the salad. Gonna dump just a little bit of this over it. Get it nice and dressed. Then we are going to garnish with a little parsley and sprinkle some fennel over the top. And there you have it. Shrimp and grapefruit salad. Real fancy, real easy. There you go.
Beautiful.
Who wants one first?
Well, no, they get it at dinner. Let me
Okay.
have
Oh, yeah. That's
They have
ours.
to wait.
Chef sample.
They have to wait.
It's beautiful.
Sorry, I got your hopes up.
All right. Well, the Marbella's been resting. So now, as we did at the beginning where I put the chicken in first, now I'm going to take the chicken out first and plate it. So I'm going to get my tongs. And you can see I got a nice crust on the chicken. Okay. From that brown sugar that was in there. We're going to get all that unctuous, luscious. Whoa!
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you this time, no. going to get that all out. Remove the bay leaves if you can. They're going to cook down a little bit. Okay. Wow. I got a lot of extra chicken in here. Oh, this is going to be so good. Oh, cameraman hand. Did you see it? Every episode's got cameraman hand in there. What do you think, cameraman?
It's pretty good.
Okay. Let me get the last one in there. And these things are a little bit slippery because of the olive oil that I put in there. There we go. Got those all on the plate. And then, oh, hey, there comes my sous chef with my spoon. Then we're going to take out all of the prunes and the olives. We're going to spread that on top. Okay, we're going to make it look nice and pretty. And this is where I get all my awards. Get all the awards for presentation and plating and all that kind of stuff. I try to get a lot of that out there. I reserve the juice if people want the juice. I think it's okay, but it's kind of like a turkey. The juices in there, you know, with poultry, you got to be a little bit careful with the juices, and we've got enough of it in there that this is going to be really juicy anyway. It's been cooking in there for over an hour. Once we got all the good stuff out, okay, we're going to put this to the side. Don't burn your hands there. I'm just going to drop that down.
Over here. That's right.
I got it down in the sink. And then I'm going to take a little bit of fennel, since we've got some fennel in our meal. And I'm going to spread that around the outside just to give it a little bit of a frame. And you can spread this out. Now, for those of you who don't know what fennel tastes like, it's got a light licorice flavor to it. So it's a little bit different taste than you would normally think of something like this, a grassy root would have. Then I'm going to take some fresh basil, and I'm going to tear it. I've already removed it from the stems. I'm going to tear it up, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of fresh basil on top. And you can almost smell the basil when it hits that heat.
He did it again.
I did it again. And then last but not least, just a little bit of dry Mexican oregano on there, and you can get this at any one of your spice shops.
Mexican oregano is a little stronger, not as sweet as Italian oregano.
Huh.
And the reason we're using Mexican is because the chef's pantry only had Mexican oregano in it today.
And there you have it.
Sometimes that's all it is.
Chicken Marbella ready to serve. So we're going to put that over here.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Okay, guys, stay
And
right
that's our meal.
Stay right here. Stay right, come here.
All right, hold on.
No.
I got to grab my fruity drink that landed me.
Okay, come over on the other side. Come over on the other side.
Okay.
All right.
As most of you know, my wife passed away a year ago in August. The cookbook and Cooking Generations is me moving forward. These people, along with my daughter-in-law Rose, who couldn't be here today because of allergies, and cameraman, they've helped me move forward. When you lose somebody and people tell you it gets easier, it doesn't get easier. But these people helped me move forward, and we have moved forward with Joyce. So, to Joyce, and
Cheers
the
to
cookbook.
Joyce.
Cookbooks.
The cookbook. Keep cooking together. Find us on www.cookingtogether.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm posting on Twitter, on my personal account. So find us, buy the cookbook, and help us raise some money for breast cancer.
Or stop by the house and we'll have a glass of wine.
Yeah. Hey, another one in the can. Perfect.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.